Are you going to apologize to the mother or not?
I don't apologize for success.
You don't apologize for putting her son's life in danger and for putting the mission in jeopardy. Well, that's really disappointing and not befitting the type of leadership that our troops and families deserve. It's frankly a stunning lack of OPSEC. Privates are trained to do much better than that. It was reckless. And it sounds like that accountability doesn't extend as far as the Secretary of Defense. So I think you should resign. The mother says she wants you gone. And with that,
Vindman just told Pete Hegseth something no Secretary of Defense ever wants to hear. A military mom wants him to resign. Her son flew the mission Hegseth discussed on Signal, and she believes he put lives at risk. Vindman asked a simple question. Do you owe her an apology? Hegseth refused to answer, refused to apologize.
Chair, now recognize the gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Vindman.
thank you, Mr. Chair. I ask unanimous consent to submit for the record an article. A distinguished member of this committee,
Without objection, so ordered.
confirmed that there was, in fact, a pause in offensive cyber operations earlier this year. The SecDef just denied this. This committee deserves to know whether the Secretary just lied. Mr. Secretary, many believed you were underqualified for this role. You've been Secretary for 4.5 months now. For the sake of the American people and our service members, I hope you've done your homework since. Let's talk Indo-PACOM. What year has the Navy publicly set as the benchmark for being ready to fight a war with China?
Well, it needs to be right now. We know what China has said.
I'm glad to hear that, but there is a publicly set date.
Well, we know it wouldn't be prudent for me in this environment to reveal when we think we're ready. That's what China has said, and we understand what they're saying, and we want to be capable and ready for it.
Not a filibuster. 2027 is the year. According to unclassified DoD assessments, how many warships does China have in its Navy today?
Many and growing.
370. It's the largest Navy in the world. How many does the U.S. Navy have today?
Thanks to this budget, it's increasing
it's a number. I'm looking for a number.
But it's just south of 300.
296, pretty close. How many ships is China expected to field by 2030?
I believe that's a classified number, but it's going to go up at a rapid rate.
Report that was released. There's an unclassified number.
It's going up at a rapid rate.
Let me help you out. 435. Let's see if we do better in EUCOM. What corridor in eastern Poland is vulnerable and a priority for U.S. reinforcements? It connects Belarus to a Russian region.
I'm sure you can tell me.
I can tell you. It's the Suwalki Gap. Which heavily militarized Russian territory connected the Suwalki Gap? It contains nuclear-capable missiles. It threatens all of NATO. It's right there in the middle of Eastern Europe.
I see we're playing a quiz game here.
It's
ultimately, thankfully, we're getting our NATO allies to step up in their spending to make sure that they can hold the line.
Mr. Secretary, I asked you a specific question. Thank you. It's Kaliningrad Oblast. So what percentage of Ukrainian frontline casualties, let's talk drones, are now caused by FPV drones?
A very large percentage, and we're studying that conflict closely to understand
I hope so.
that fact.
It's over 70%. And which U.S. service has written doctrine or standardized procurement for integration of FPV drones?
That's the Army.
I wish that were the case, but actually the answer is none of them. So we're not prepared yet, and we need to get there fast. Let me turn to a different topic. A few weeks ago, when my office opened up in Fredericksburg, I spoke to the mother of one F-18 pilot who flew the March 15th mission over the Red Sea in Yemen that you discussed over Signal. I spoke to her again on Tuesday and asked her if there was anything she wanted me to bring up. She believes that you need to resign. She also had several questions, but one thing, she said she would appreciate an apology for putting classified information. Her son couldn't even tell her where the Truman was going, but into the Houthi PC small group Signal chat that risked her son's life and the mission. Mr. Secretary, yes or no, do you think you owe her an apology?
Please make sure to let her know how grateful we are for the skill and heroism of her.
I am very much grateful. I'm sure everybody in this room is grateful. I'm proud of what her son has done. The question is, do you owe her an apology for your actions? Are you going to be accountable?
It was an incredibly successful mission. Her son did great work.
They did a magnificent job.
Thankfully, the Houthi campaign was successful.
Secretary, I agree with you. Magnificent job. The performance of those pilots and Navy personnel, magnificent. We're talking about what you did and accountability. Are you going to apologize to the mother or not?
I don't apologize for success.
You don't apologize for putting her son's life in danger and for putting the mission in jeopardy. Well, that's really disappointing and not befitting the type of leadership that our troops and families deserve. It's frankly a stunning lack of OPSEC. Privates are trained to do much better than that. It was reckless. And it sounds like that accountability doesn't extend as far as the Secretary of Defense. So I think you should resign. The mother says she wants you gone. And with that,
what you just watched wasn't a tense oversight hearing. It was a public stress test of power. And Pete Hegseth didn't trip over it. He walked straight into it and shattered his credibility. In front of the one community no defense secretary can't afford to lose: military families. Representative Vindman walks into that room with a scalpel, not a microphone, determined to prove something Washington keeps pretending isn't up for debate. Competence at the highest levels is non-negotiable. Experience is non-negotiable. Judgment is non-negotiable. Because real lives hang in the balance, Vindman starts by saying the quiet part out loud. Hegseth's qualifications weren't whispered about by partisans. They were questioned by defense experts, commanders, and veterans because the Secretary of Defense is expected to know the landscape cold, the threats, the timelines, the vulnerabilities, the math, without waiting for an aide to slide them a note. So Vindman does what accountability looks like. He asks the simplest questions in national security. The year the Navy believes it could face China head on. How many ships China has? How many we have? Where the Suwalki Gap is? How drones are rewriting warfare? These aren't trick questions. They are the ABCs of modern defense strategy, the foundation of budgets, alliances, and deterrence. And Hegseth whiffs again and again. Not out of disagreement, not due to classified constraints, but because the answers simply aren't there. Vindman has to provide them for him. The dates, the fleet counts, the choke points, the emerging technologies. This isn't a pop quiz. It's a warning flare. Documentation of a readiness crisis at the top. Then Vindman shifts, and the temperature in the room changes. He raises the real-world mission compromised by sensitive information shared over signal. No theatrics, no monologue. He brings it to the only perspective that matters. A mother of one of the pilots. She doesn't care about partisan spin, viral clips, or talking points. She cares whether leadership protected her child or gambled with him. Vindman repeats what she told him. She wants Hegseth to resign, not out of ideology, but because trust, the military's oxygen, was broken. And then he delivers the question that strips away every defense. Do you think you owe her an apology? This is where leaders reveal themselves, not because sorry fixes the past, but because accountability is step one to protecting the future. Instead, Hegseth pivots, praises her son, applauds the mission, but refuses the one thing she asked for: responsibility. He won't say I'm sorry. He won't even consider it. That's not strength. It's fear dressed as toughness. Because being Secretary of Defense isn't about performing confidence. It's about earning it. Tot enlisted troops face discipline for mishandling classified material. Officers get reprimanded. But the head of the Pentagon floats above consequence? That is the double standard Vindman puts on record. So when he ends with, "I think you should resign," it doesn't sound dramatic. It sounds inevitable. The case is built brick by brick, not emotional, not partisan. Just failure of readiness, a pattern of dodging responsibility, and a military family left betrayed. This wasn't a hearing about politics. It was a hearing about trust, about leadership, about whether the world's strongest military is being led by someone prepared for history, or someone still performing for television. If you want breakdowns that expose what the headlines won't, hit like, share this clip, and subscribe to Liberal Lens Talk. Because oversight only matters if the public understands what just happened and what it means for those who serve.